You know how silence can sometimes feel heavier than thunder? That's what Christmas was like for me this year. I was sitting in my apartment, lights low, the radiator groaning as if it were tired of holding me together. Outside, I could hear laughter. Neighbors, families clinking glasses, kids squealing over new toys. I had none of that. Just me, the darkness, and a single candle flickering on the windowsill. That candle wasn't for Christmas or tradition. It was just to stop the room from feeling so empty. Then my phone buzzed. It was Michael, my brother. The message was short. As always, "You'll watch the kids for a week while we're on our cruise." No question, no please, just an order. And that was Michael in a nutshell. My brother, the golden child. Growing up, he was the sun, and I was the shadow. Every Christmas morning, the living room looked like Santa himself had moved in for him. The biggest box, the brightest paper, the gasps of, "Oh, Michael, you're so lucky." Me? I got socks. Book I never asked for. One year, I got nothing at all. When I asked why, Dad said, "Be grateful you're not Michael. He has real pressure." Funny, pressure never looked like much from where I stood. Pressure was a new bike, the latest sneakers, an extra slice of pie, while Mum winked at him across the table. Pressure was applause while I washed the dishes in silence. For years I played my part. The good shadow, the backup, the one who always said yes. Yes, I'll pick him up. Yes, I'll stay home while you go out. Yes, I'll babysit. No problem. Every yes was another piece of myself handed over, wrapped in ribbon, left on their doorstep. And still, they never truly saw me. So when I read that text, my chest tightened. My thumb hovered over the keyboard, every old reflex screaming, "Just say yes. Don't cause trouble," because that's what they called it. Trouble. My needs, my voice, my boundaries, all trouble. But something inside me finally cracked. I typed one word, no. Just 2 letters. And I swear it felt like pulling out a splinter buried since childhood. Painful, but clean. The next morning, the doorbell rang. I opened it, and there they were. Michael and his wife, standing like travelers checking into a hotel. Suitcases at their feet. Smiles as if they owned the air in my apartment. "Didn't get your message," Michael said, casual as always, as if he hadn't even considered I might mean it. "We're heading out today." And for the first time in my life, my voice didn't shake. "No, Michael, not this time." It was like watching glass fracture. His smile twitched, his jaw clenched. He wasn't surprised. I could see it. He was insulted, as if my no was a betrayal of the natural order of things. His wife's eyes darted to mine, a mix of disbelief and disdain, and she tugged at his arm. The sound of those plastic suitcase wheels scraping down the hall echoed like a warning. The next day, I found a note taped to my door. "You'll regret this. Maybe once I would have, because that was the script, right?" I say no. They paint me as selfish, ungrateful, the disappointment. Mom used to call me the difficult one. Dad said I was too sensitive. And Michael? He never had to say a word. His silence was its own judgment. That night, I sat with that note in my hand, the candle burning low, and I remembered every Christmas I'd begged to belong. The year I was 8, when Michael unwrapped the game console I'd asked for, and Mom said, "You'll get your turn one day." The year one was 13, when Michael left the table mid-dinner to hang out with friends, and I stayed to clear the plates alone. The year I was 17, when I asked if they were proud of me for making honor roll, and Dad said, "Don't be dramatic. Michael just got into varsity. That's something." I thought about all of it, and for the first time, I didn't feel envy. I felt clarity. A few nights later, my phone lit up. Michael again. This time, I could hear music and laughter behind him. The ship, The cruise, the life I was supposed to support from the shadows. You ruined everything, he hissed, his voice slurred, sharper than usual. Mom says, you've always been a disappointment. That one cut. Not because it was new, but because it was the oldest wound I carried. The word disappointment had been stitched into my skin since childhood. And now my brother was just yanking at the thread. But instead of unraveling, I felt steady. I don't regret it, I said. There was a silence so long, I thought the call had dropped. Then Michael's voice, cold venom dripping through static. You'll regret it when you've got nobody left. And maybe he was right, because the avalanche started. Dad called, his tone sharp. Clipped. You're selfish, Matt. Family sticks together. Mom called, crying so hard I could barely make out the words. How could you do this to us? You broke my heart. Even old family friends texted, parroting the same line. You've changed. You're cold. You'll regret this. It was like every voice from my past had come back to bury me. But I didn't bend. Not this time. Because deep down, I realized they weren't angry that I said no. They were angry that I finally knew my worth. Christmas night came. I sat in that apartment alone. No family dinner, no gifts, no clinking glasses. Just me, the candle, and the hum of the radiator. And for once, the silence didn't feel heavy. It felt clean. I thought about all the years. I begged for a seat at their table, when all along I could have built my own. I thought about the shadow I'd been forced into and the man who had finally stepped out. I wasn't invisible. I wasn't broken. I wasn't theirs to use anymore. When I blew out that candle, the room went dark. But inside me, the light finally stayed. And for the first time in my life, I didn't regret a damn thing.